Miami Heat lose last night by 1 to the Philadelphia 76ers, 105-104. They will now await the Chicago Bulls, who it was a kind of a close game for it's halfway through the third quarter. Then doors blown off. Kobe White went off.
Kobe White went crazy with all that hair.
Yep, and he's going to bring all that hair to the Kaseya Center tomorrow night for the Heat's season being on the brink. Jimmy Butler, we are awaiting word on his injury, but my medical opinion is not great. That's how I feel like we're at right now.
Opinion.
Let's get to some calls here, Leroy. You want to hear from some Heat fans? Me too.
Not if I hang up on them if they give me some BS excuses.
Okay. Cap, what's going on, Cap?
Tobin!
Hey, buddy.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Listen, look, Leroy, it's not about excuses at this point. This is not a Miami Dolphins scenario. You have a situation here where you have a Triple J. You got a Euro guy that you can use out of the he's perimeter based. He can go inside, play defense. But no, you guys want to play this run and gun style, which is fine if it was 3 years ago. You guys don't want to hear the fact that Embiid pretty much handed you a plate and that plate was empty. And he just broke that plate on top of your head and screamed, Opa. You know what I'm saying? Like, the guy is a 7-footer, which you don't have.
He's not.
You had a PJ Tucker, which ironically enough is with Philly. Kyle Lowry's pretty much laughing in your guy's face right now. Yeah, you got a Martin. You got a Triple J. You got a Euro step guy. I mean, you don't have no big guys, granted. That's the position the Godfather put us in, but I'm not going to question him at this point, being we have rings. But damn it, man, stop being afraid of getting a big guy, knowing this is a big guy league. You got 7-footers shooting threes. Let Bam do his thing. Give help to Bam with size. I mean, we got shooting guards like crazy, and it's not working. At this point, use your strength. Right. You got rookies out there that can shoot and defend. Use them. That's why you drafted them.
All right. Thanks, Cap. Appreciate it.
I would say this.
You got a Starbucks thing in your mouth? What is that?
No, it's a stopper. A coffee stopper. I had in my coffee.
All right.
So here's the deal. I will agree with him from this standpoint. Joel Embiid had an average game. And you didn't put any pressure on him to make that matter. Right?
Yeah, the only guy who really did was Jimmy before Jimmy
right.
got.
And the other thing is that he wasn't even going into the paint and trying to put pressure on you.
Nope.
You see what I'm saying? He was, while you talking about all of the guys, while he's talking about all the guys that he would put.
Part of that was zone, though. Part of that was zone. They made that difficult on him. Like, you got to give the Heat credit on that too. That's not all just Joel Embiid didn't have a good game because he was having a bad game. Like,
they got flustered as a team until they started putting pressure in the paint. Right.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I would agree. I would argue that what loosened things up was Nick Batum hitting crazy threes.
Right. No, that too. But look, if you play zone and you get beat by the three, you like.
Yeah. I mean, like, people were like, "Oh, the zone was crazy." It was like, yeah, they hit like 2 threes in the first half, and they were cooking the ball all over the place. Right. They couldn't get the ball to Joel Embiid. It really did fluster them. But then when they start hitting it, well, listen, if you're gonna die by Nick Batum hitting threes, like, someone's gonna get open looks.
Right.
Like, if you would have told me on that court last night, hey, Tobes, someone's got to get the shots. Tobias Harris, Tyrese Maxey, Kyle Lowry, or Joel Embiid or Nick Batum. I'm like, Nick Batum. Go ahead, baby.
Right.
Killed us. Will, what's up, man?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
What's happening?
Yeah, I know. But you know what? Jimmy said they want to do it the hard way, so they're making it even harder. Because let's look a little bit ahead now. It happened. We lost. This is why Riley does not play young players. This is where the veteran gets in. But let's look ahead. We can still make it to the first round. Chicago is not that great, so we might be able to trade them. But I got a scenario for you. Yes. Jimmy's out for the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
We make it to the conference finals, but we lose. that means we're beating Boston without Jimmy. That means we're beating the second round without Jimmy. Or Jimmy comes back for Game 7 against Boston. Which one would you rather? And we might make it to the championship with Jimmy coming back.
But
that's not for sure.
If Jimmy came back and somehow eliminated the Celtics like a hero, if that were to happen, yeah, you're gonna feel like you can get past anybody.
Yo, Leroy. I think we lost Leroy.
I know he's beside himself.
No,
if that were to happen, yeah, of course, we would be back. But
Stop it!
I don't know if he's coming back to the playoffs.
Yo,
stop it! Hold on.
Yeah.
Why, after what you saw the last month and a half of the season, when it's coming, and we still waiting, now you projected it even further out?
Jovic's time, dude.
Dude, look.
Hold on.
Good for you guys. Good. Look,
this guy.
Listen.
He was on.
I'm gonna just say like this. I played too many games of football, baseball, and basketball earlier in my life to know that if you relying on the things that these callers have been talking about, then no.
Great. I can't wait to hear this one. Hey, Richie.
You stinking Heat fans, man. I love it. Since 6 o'clock in the morning, I've been listening to you whining, stinking Heat fans. You deserve this. Everything that's happening to the Heat, you deserve. Stinking Tyler Hero.
What does that mean? What do you mean we deserve it? Why do we deserve it?
Shut up, Tobin, while I'm speaking, okay? And then you talk about you want the smoke. You want the smoke from the Knicks?
You must be so thankful that you're going up against that bum and beat who never gets past anybody. Nobody must have been thanking themselves that Jimmy Butler's leg doesn't work more than you.
Brad, you're wrong. We're going to sweep Philly. And if we would have played you stinking Heat, oh, man, it would have been great.
You were thanking – you must have gotten down on your hands and knees last night thanking your basketball. Thank you for taking Jimmy out of the playoffs. He can't hurt us this year. Oh, you know it. You and Ben Stiller, the two of you. The two of you, Richie. Oh, thank you. Jimmy can't hurt us this year. Thank you, Kelly Oubre. You guys probably want to send Kelly Oubre an honorary jersey.
That was top 12 of the year so far.
Hey, Vlad. I knew. I was just gonna call. My whole thing was, how is he gonna start? Right? And he started as only Richie could. You stinking Heat fans.
When he told Tobin to shut his mouth and let him talk.
Shut up while I'm talking.
And Tobin did.
Tobin's like,
one more, Bill. Wrap us up, Bill. What do you got, buddy?
Hey, morning, guys. I hope I can get through this without sobbing, but all the excuses, all the stuff, it only comes down to one thing as far as I can see.
Okay.
Leroy, you were right.
Oh, get out of here.
Listen, it's not a matter of being right.
Oh, you
right?
love being right.
No. Here's the deal. There is nothing. And here's the thing. There is nothing that I said about the Heat that was not true. That's it. Like, I didn't say anything that was wrong. I didn't say anything because I was a hater. I basically said, this is what this team is. And you never want to go. And who's the guy wait, from the beginning of this, what did I keep telling you? You don't want a one-game sample. You don't. It's a terrible situation to be in basketball.
Did you have Nick Batum doing this to us?
No, it doesn't matter, but that's exactly what can happen in one-game samples. Okay, you think Atlanta thought that Kobe White was going to go for 42?
Kobe White's had a very good season.
Not 42?
He's had a very good season, though.
Okay, he ain't scored 42 all year.
Career high.
Right. You see what I'm saying? One-game samples are terrible. Can I just tell you, when we go to the playoffs in football, Do you not? And let me explain to you how just terrified coaches are about making sure that all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, right? Because it's a 1-game sample. It's torture. Anything can happen. I don't care how bad your team is or how good your team is. They're NBA players too, and one of them could get hot, and you're like, who the hell is this guy? You don't want to be in that situation.
I'm pretty sure I know what happens. I'm pretty sure Patrick Mahomes wins.
Always.
Always. Well, okay. Yeah.
We'll take a break. We'll see more Heat fans lining up to call. We'll get to you guys in about Schmee that says this blueprint is going to get blown up by Vucevic. That is so perfect. Yeah, he is an OG Heat killer. That is for sure.
Oh, but he couldn't hit water from a boat last night.
If he dials it up though for the play-in.
Yeah.
He's like, I remember this. The Heat. Yeah. Look, there's going to be time to do it. Look, if things do end on Friday, there'll be a whole time to do the autopsy on this. Right now, I'm just bummed because of the way yesterday went. Mostly, I'm bummed because of Jimmy. Like Jimmy's hurt, and
regardless of what happens, regardless of what happened, you want to be able to go in with your full complement of players, right? You can deal with that.
Which, by the way, they still didn't have last night. They didn't have Terry, and they didn't have Duncan. You know,
okay,
which is a bummer. Like Duncan Robinson, I'm going to be like Leroy. Duncan, up to that back injury,
he was probably one of the, between him and Kevin Love, they were more important on that team than a lot of people think or realize.
Absolutely, and you know, to not have him was a bummer. And so Terry too. Like Terry was playing great basketball, and like you saw with Tyler yesterday, like.
He needed someone else.
Yeah,
Dan was nowhere to be found, and with the way Terry was playing before that injury, Terry would have helped you win that game last night.
Look, I'm not taking away from what Leroy's point is, like to be in this position because you've had enough in other games where you should have been in this position
if you beat Washington.
Washington, the Grizzlies, for sure.
Washington and the Grizzlies. Well, the Grizzlies with 8 guys. So let's not yeah, man, it is what it is. Like you can say here. Here's what you never want to do. The more you expose yourself to sport, the higher your chances are of getting something like this happening, right? So and think about this. If the Heat had only played 82 games, we'd be talking about the playoffs right now. We wouldn't be talking about the play-in. But in that 83rd game, something happened. Unfortunate as it is. But you did this to yourself. You like competition? I like winning.
Do you think Spud believes it to himself when he tells the media yesterday, we just got to do it the hard way? Dude, you've been doing it the hard way for 2 years. Don't you ever want to like just, put yourself, kick your feet back and be like, hey, you know what? It's nice to be the 3 seed. Ever? No? I don't know. Smitty, what's up, man?
What happens is that you can't use the anomaly, right?
What's the anomaly?
The anomaly, 8 seed going all the way to the finals, or a play-in team. You were in an anomaly, and you're trying to make that the norm. That ain't gonna happen.
Well, like this, the whole thing is like they definitely had a point last year when they got to that. Like, how were you gonna the damn league knew what the Heat did last year, that they were gonna be in a spot like they had to make up an in-season tournament because the regular season was becoming insignificant. But maybe as an organization, this will put a different feeling on it. It did happen, after the second year when they got the doors blown off them by Milwaukee. They came in, they were the 1 seed the next year.
Right.
I know Kyle Lowry wasn't the sexy acquisition that everybody wanted, but it worked that year. It had something to it. This year, with the injuries, with everything, with it feeling like they didn't really ever panic because of they could always rest on what they did last year. And you really can't, you can't say they're not going to do it because they did it last year. But now it's like, well, if you get bounced,
an anomaly.
You can't say it, but like you can't also tell them that it's not true either.
You're taking a once in a lifetime situation and say, oh, it could happen again.
Leroy, but like when you get advice all the time, but you pull things off, like when if you have a bad habit, Do most people kick the bad habit early, or do they kick it when it usually like really bites them in the ass?
When it really bites them in the ass.
So that's yes, I understand what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying from their standpoint, from Jimmy Butler's standpoint, they're going into this and like, yeah, but come on, we don't respect any of these teams.
You can't like you know what that sounds like? That sounds like the team that came back from a 28-point deficit and then the very next game go down 28 and think, oh, we did it last week, we can do it again. No, dude. In sports, there's anomalies. There's things that only a few people in the history of the sport have done. You can't try to use that as the norm.
Get your hands off your knees, Joel. It's the second quarter, for God's sakes. You're not tired.
So here's this guy. Oh, he cold. Jackass. Leroy, is that why your NFL career faded away from exposure? I'm like, dude, I played 11 years. What as a running back?
Jesus.
Smitty, how's that fading away?
Hey guys, how you doing?
What's that? Whoa, that tone. Man, you sound terrible.
Yeah, it's I feel hey, first of all, Tobin, thank you very much for mentioning about fast breaks. We've got to be the worst team out there that knows how to do fast breaks.
It's incredible. They make up new ways to blow it.
Somebody said something.
It's ridiculous.
My gosh, how many times you guys are going to do that? And Leroy, thank you for last time I was on the radio. For some reason, I said 6'10", 6'11", 6'12". I blamed that on that pink pill I took in '78 at a concert. But listen, bottom line, the Heat should have never been in this situation from the very beginning. If they would have took care of businesses against certain teams and guys not taking days off, they should have never been in it. They could have easily been the third seed. They could have easily been the second seed. There is no ifs or buts about it.
Right,
I blame certain guys that did not step up. I blame Bam. I don't know. When Jimmy got hurt yesterday, Bam, where were you? You're supposed to be the guy to step up. I know you were playing defense in Joel, but Joel was, like you said, he's on his knees. He's barely surviving.
I'm not saying Bam doesn't deserve blame because, obviously you're the max guy. What I would do though, like here's what I would say for Spo, like, bro, you got to give because when Kelly Oubre is pestering and giving Tyler Hero that hard a time getting the ball up the court, let Bam bring it up.
Right.
Let Bam bring it up.
See if they put Joel on him.
Yeah.
But you know what? Here's what I would say is that I said before the game, you're asking Bam to do a lot. As far as Joel Embiid, he's out there with Oubre. He's out there on the point guard. He's on everybody. I'm going to give him a pass on the offensive end because of what you're asking him to do. Unlike any other person on that team, you're asking so much of him on the defensive end. Now, the way that works is somebody got to pick up his slack on the offensive end.
Yeah, and Tyler Hero can get hot from shooting, but he's got one move around the rim. It's the floater. That's it. He's got one move. That's it. Like Jaime was going right at Joel. Didn't work every time, but he was going at him. He was trying.
The float mingo was inactive yesterday.
Oh, the float mingo needed some more shellfish.
Right.
That's how they get their color, Leroy.
Huh?
Charles, what's up?
What's up, fellas?
What's up?
I'm disappointed as a fan because of the outcome. Wanted to play the Knicks, seed in 5, if that was the case. I'm disappointed for Jimmy because he took all this time off and everything, and look where we're at with an injury. But I'm mad at the Heat. I'm over this stuff with we want competition, we take the hard way. Enough of that nonsense. You should have never been in that game to begin with, and Jimmy would have never gotten hurt in that game. It's different if you're in a playoff game and somebody gets hurt. But you're playing bonus games that you shouldn't even be playing with. They messed around and found out, and the whole season could be over, and this whole playoff Jimmy's going to be a laughing stock.
They did that.
So I got to give Leroy a lot of props. We did that to ourselves. We can't blame nobody but the organization, the coaches, and the players because they made every cut to get to this point instead of taking advantage of the season and beating bums like Washington. They let a bum who's older than I am, but and smoke them just in the one playoff game because that's exactly what Leroy said happened. And I gotta give Tobin props, man. You can't miss those 2 free throws, Caleb. Come on, bro. You can't give him free chicken and momentum. You can't do that. All right, fellas.
Leroy, that free chicken fired their asses up.
Hey, Vlad. I'm gonna pull an Allen Iverson. We talk about free chicken. We talk about chicken.
I will say,
we're not talking about cheesesteaks. We're not talking about cheesesteaks.
The first words out of his mouth this morning were
stinking chicken.
Caleb, the tenor of the game changed when you gave him that free chicken.
It did. He misses those free throws. They go on a 7-0 run. Changed everything.
We talk about chicken.
Brickin', their whole contest is called Brickin' for Chicken. You're not Boban. Don't do that, Caleb.
Oh my goodness.
I've heard it all, Leroy. I've heard it all.
Yeah, man. Hey, this is like, it's funny for me because as a player, if I ever said some of this BS to a reporter, they would flip out, right? I can't say none of this as a player. But as fans, this isn't like, I'm like, wow, this is a different side. Like, this is the other side of that. We can say all this stuff. But if Jimmy, think about this. If Jimmy come out and say, I wouldn't even been in that situation if Caleb wouldn't have been breaking for chicken. Right? Like, dude, that just sounds crazy.
There's no way that somebody didn't mention it on the team plane last night to Caleb be like, really, dude, the chicken? But it probably was like Nico. He goes, Barate, you change game. All of a sudden, we lose. Free chicken. James,
you were fired up too because Mama Yovi texted us last night.
Oh, well, because he was going like right at him. And look at him. He's D'ing up the feed. He should have played more yesterday. Honestly, they should really hand the keys to the franchise to him. James, wrap us up here this hour.
Oh my God, I don't even know if I can wrap you up. I have 1,000 thoughts on my mind right now, but oh my God, obviously losing Jimmy for multiple weeks, so pretty much the rest of the year is the biggest gut punch we can get because we felt like we were pretty good against New York, we had a good match against them. Going to this Boston team, I know we kind of have Boston's number and they do fear us, but without Jimmy, it's obviously hopeless. But we got to play one game at a time. But what I'm looking at this is, I know you want to talk about the current situations. How do you not look at the future here? Like Tyler is going to this 5th year. I love Tyler Hero to death. And I think he's awesome. I think he gets too much hate on the media when he's crap. I think he gets a lot of love when he's really good. I love Tyler to death. But Jimmy going into him being 35 years old, you got to look at the bigger factor here. Obviously, you can't rely on everyone staying healthy all year because that's not going to happen. Maybe they're going to have to go out and get Donovan Mitchell from Cleveland because he doesn't want to be extended. It seems like New York might be the only team and Miami that he would extend with. But as much as I love Tyler, it might be time to just break up this big three. As I'm very happy what I've seen from Tyler this year. Duncan has been unbelievable. Terry is really coming to his own. It sucks that he got hurt at just this wrong time. This is the most consistent Bam I've ever seen because usually he can get in his head a little bit when he's having a bad scoring night and it gets bad for a while. But I've never seen Bam with so much confidence. Jimmy does what he usually does during the regular season. Then he'll catch fire, and he was catching fire last night. But this, you just got to.
You do have a lot of thoughts, James. We got to wrap it up, buddy. But I appreciate you. All right.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. You were good points. Good points.
Hey.
You can tell he's been, that guy did not go to sleep last night.
He didn't go to sleep because
he didn't go to sleep last night.
It sounds like he took 17 no-dos because he didn't want to forget his thoughts. Because he said, I know Tobin and Leroy, they gonna open up the airways. I'm gonna be ready. Popping no-dos, drinking. Y'all don't remember that soda back in the day, Jolt?
Oh man.
Jolt, it tastes like Coke, but it was like 17 uppers were in it.
No, it tasted like Coke, and it made you feel like you had a Coke. You were taking up. That's why it was called Jolt.
We'll take a break. Back after this.